Does that look like me? Does that look like me? I don't think it looks that much like me. But Kenny sure seems to think. Kenny thinks that looks like me because Kenny drew it and sent it to me as a birthday card. I appreciate that, man. All right. Speaking of Kenny, paid subscriber, dude's helped me out of a couple jams financially. I appreciate you very much. He sent me this picture. I guess that's supposed to be me. I think he thinks one of my parents might be Asian. So he sent me this article. This is from Law Enforcement Today. Combat Marine, former police officer, once recognized for his heroism, takes his own life in police station. March 23rd, 2020, fallen, featured. Euclid, Ohio. I bet you didn't know, Kenny, that Euclid, Ohio is our stomping grounds. That's right next to Willowick. I believe it touches Willowick. And we hung out there all the time. And the Euclid police always had a reputation for being bad, but I'm really noticing that every police station has a reputation for being bad. I've never heard anyone go, man, our police station are the best. They follow the Constitution. They respect your rights. So Euclid, Ohio, a former police officer with a troubled past was reported as having committed suicide on March 23rd inside the very station that he was terminated from in 2018. Reports indicate that the former police officer didn't attempt to take anyone's life but his own. The incident happened at approximately 3 a.m. that Monday morning inside the Euclid Police Department. Former officer Todd Gautner had entered the Euclid PD's lobby and took his own life, according to a release from the department. While there's been no details revealed as to what exactly compelled Gautner to take his own life, he did suffer from a checkered past with law while being a law enforcement officer. His series of poor decisions led to his termination from the Euclid PD in 2018. After having served 2 tours in Afghanistan and the Marines, Gautner had eventually found himself an employee of the Euclid Police Department. It was around June of 2014 his troubles began to start. The former officer's personal file noted that in 2014 he was pulled over for going 90 in a 30 zone by a Wycliffe police officer. Wycliffe is the other city right close to where I live. I lived in Willowick, then there's Wycliffe, then there's Euclid, and then there's Willoughby. According to the incident report filed, Gautner was twice the legal limit when a breathalyzer was administered that resulted in a 15-day suspension for going 60 over while drunk. In December 2015, Gautner found himself under extreme scrutiny again for drunkenly firing his gun into Lake Erie toward Euclid Beach Park. I know exactly where that is. There's a Burger King right there I used to frequent, let's say. This resulted in yet another 15-day suspension, but the police chief had recommended that he be terminated after that incident. But he wasn't. For a few years, then Officer Gautner managed to steer clear of trouble. In fact, in January 2018, he was recognized by the EPD for heroism after saving a man who was shot 16 times when EMS refused to pick the victim up due to jurisdictional politics. Wow. Let's see here. Then in August of 2018, after a night of drinking, Gautner would get involved in an altercation that would cost him his job alongside jail time and probation. Police received a frantic call from a bartender on August 24th, my sister's birthday, 2018, where she stated, he has a gun, it's loaded, he held it to somebody's head, it's loaded, he said he's going to kill everybody. That person who was holding the gun was Gautner. The then officer was sitting across the bar and made a series of crude remarks to 2 men sitting across from him. Those 2 men also happened to be Hells Angels. Gautner's personnel file stated that the following about the incident. Gautner initiated the incident with the 2 men who were alleged members of the Hells Angels organization by making disparaging comments to them. When the 2 men approached Gautner, he pulled out a gun and started pointing it at several individuals around him. At some point, despite Gautner having produced the weapon, the Hells Angels began throwing several punches at Gautner anyway. They didn't care that he was pointing a gun at them. Aside from some bruising on Gautner, no one was shot or seriously harmed during the incident, But this was the final straw in the department. Oh, they've had enough. The 60 over while drunk wasn't good enough. The other altercation wasn't good enough. Terminated him in September of 2018. Just 2 months later, Gardner had pled guilty to charges associated with brandishing a weapon inside of a bar. Let's see here. The barroom clash landed Gardner 5 days in jail and 1 year probation. Spiros Gonakis, who was Gardner's attorney at the proceedings, believed that his conduct was tied directly to PTSD. How about alcohol? Maybe it's alcohol. I have no doubt, Your Honor, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but this PTSD played into this event in August. Considering that Gardner spent 4 years in the Marines, several years policing, it's not far-fetched concept to note that he likely did suffer from PTSD. Then don't be a cop. It's unfortunate that a man that has full potential and clearly had demonstrated heroism on events was also dealing with ramifications of poor decisions. All right, this is from Law Enforcement Today. Thanks, Kenny, for sending it to me. Word. Let's see. Check out my coin ring store, please, if you'd be so kind. There it is. Let's get me off of there. There's my rings. This is the best seller right here. Jerky, not so much lately. This knife I still have. This knife thingy I still have. I can make any one of these. Still have this pool cue that Woody made. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and tranquility. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye. I am Optimus Prime.